Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Liverpool Latest. I am back from vacation, which was fantastic. Thank you for asking. So, I got a lot of good stuff to talk about, starting with this win here against Brighton at Anfield, 2-0. But before I get to that, I have even better news. My Mohamed Salah jersey came in the mail, and I'm not wearing it today, but I will wear it for you guys soon, which I'm very excited to sport some more Liverpool merch here on the channel. So, 2-0. Now, I call it a dominating victory because I think it's as clear as day that despite the fact that Brighton had some shining moments, I think Liverpool overall were the much better team throughout the course of the game. All getting started with that wonderful goal by Ekitike, and I couldn't have asked for a better game for him. He absolutely showed out, showed off, and that game within the first minute of the match, or that goal, I should say, within the first minute of the match was absolutely spectacular and a fantastic way to start. I wish we can do that more often. Some statistics for you that I would like to cover as well, which we dominated Brighton in, was the shots, which was the 18-14 in our favor, with our shots on target being 5-1. And the commentators on Peacock made light of this. And they said despite the chances that Brighton were creating, they could not get a shot on target to save their lives. And I was kind of shocked at that. Brighton didn't play bad by any means. As a matter of fact, there were times where I felt very threatened by them throughout the course of the game. Periods of time, I should say, where I felt threatened. With that being said, for some reason, offensively, they just couldn't put it all together, and the schemes were not where they should have been. Liverpool, on the other hand, had some fantastic showings, some really great attempts. Unfortunately, quite a few people went down over the course of the game. Szoboszlai, I think, had to get off for an injury or some sort of substitution. So this is like the first time he's been subbed off like all season practically, or he hasn't played a full match, which is astronomically crazy. I don't know how that man is going at the level he's going at. Joe Gomez seems like he's hurt once again. Cody Gakpo was on the sidelines because he was hurt, so he was not in the starting lineup. Speaking of the starting lineup, I've seen this conversation a lot, and I'm not going to lie to you. This was shocking for me. I hate the 4-2-3-1 formation that we've been using all season. This is one of those times where I think it worked out pretty well for us. Mostly because I think we had all the right people in the right place. Now, granted, this shifted over the course of the game due to injuries that Liverpool was receiving. But to start the match off, we had Joe Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk, and Kirkez in the back four, which, by the way, Kirkez did a fantastic job this game, too. And Joe Gomez had a fantastic save to keep the ball in the zone and right before he got injured, which was a sad sight to see. Gravenberch and Jones were in the middle, which Jones also did a fantastic job this match as well. I normally don't sing his praises very well, but I got to give credit where credit is due. Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Wirtz were also in front of them, with Ekitike spearheading the attack. Now, I talk about Mo Salah here on the screen, as you can see. Mo Salah did not start this match. That should not come as a shock to anybody. That said, when he did come into the match, he made quite a bit of impact. Let's get right to it, shall we? 26th minute, Joe Gomez goes down. Again, really tough to see because he's been doing so well in that position recently. He provided a really good assist via a corner which led to Ekitike's second goal, which us scoring on a corner is very rare that I have noticed, as opposed to someone like Arsenal, where set pieces is a majority of their offense. So seeing that was shocking, and seeing Salah take the corner, which is not something I typically see anyway, was even better because it was like a perfect ball. It was a really well set up set piece attempt. He took the assist actually landed him to 277 Premier League goal involvements for Liverpool, breaking the record for most goals plus assists by any player for a single Premier League club. This surpassing Wayne Rooney, of all people, for Manchester United. Salah did a really great job, man. For someone that I didn't expect to start and especially get into the game that early, you could tell that Salah had a little pep in his step. He was doing really well. He was pushing. He was pressing. Very physical. His speed was there. It was like, why? I don't know what the difference between the last couple months and Brighton was, but he really showed out, and I really liked that for him. I think this was a good game to end for him to go to AFCON. And from there, we're going to not have him for what could be the next month and a half or so. Maybe month, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but still, it's going to be a long period of time without our star striker. That said, also given the issues we were having throughout the week, which I talked about before I went on vacation, we were I was a little nervous about what he was going to do, if he was going to show out, and he did just that. Had a fantastic game. I think going back to the starting lineup and the substitutions that were made as follows, I'm really impressed with the team that was put out. I'm not going to sit here and be all fake positive and be, oh, this is the team that we need to have going forward, but I do think that for Slot, this was a step in the right direction, and because of that effort in Brighton, we are sitting in 7th place currently, unfortunately, behind Manchester United of all teams at 26 points apiece. Hopefully, this will pick up some momentum for us as we move into Tottenham this coming Saturday. I'll tell you someone who's having a bit of a struggle in his own right, and that is Mr. Harvey Elliott. I feel so bad for Harvey, man. This man does not deserve what he's getting at Aston Villa. And it's actually really sad to see someone of his talents get practically disrespected the way he's been getting disrespected here. They continue to actively discuss his future while he's on the loan. He's missing the Europa League trip against FC Basel, and Unai Emery is confirming ongoing talks. He's only made 7 appearances for Villa since being a part of the team. His last appearance being October 2nd. Let that sit in. Let that sit with you for a second. October 2nd. At this point in time, we're almost to Christmas. That was over 2 months ago, and it was a late substitute. In the Premier League, he's had 5 appearances and only 1 start. So it looks unlikely that they are going to have him for the rest of the season. And honestly, if this is how they want to treat him, I would rather take Harvey Elliott back. And as much as of a gripe as I have with Harvey at times, because I feel like sometimes he could be really great, offer a lot of great energy, I also feel like sometimes he could be a little bit lazy on the pitch. I would like to see Harvey back, and I would like him to prove Aston Villa wrong. And I'd like him to prove the comments that Emery made against him and what he really meant in that, which did not sit well with me for a lot of this, how can I say it, this little interview that I saw in regards to him on ESPN. he's not really a part of the plans. That's according to Emery himself. He's not here with us, is a direct quote by him. He's definitely not adding to us with a permanent contract. Not like you're giving him a chance to make that spot anyway. But he also stressed that it's a managerial decision and a situation-based issue, not disciplinary. So if he's training well, respected by the staff, but is stuck in these ridiculous circumstances, why the fuck do you have him? Give him back to us in January, for Christ's sake, at this point, because I don't want him on the team. I would rather have him back at this point. We actually need depth anyway, because now that Salah's gone, it's going to be a little bit of a rough spot for us. But it's and Emery has said that in a suggestion that was to basically have him leave as a solution, saying that he just needs to play consistently and that he could be with us or he could not be with us. And I find that to be incredibly disrespectful of Harvey Elliott and his talents. I think I do not disagree with the loan. I think it didn't help us as far as a depth goes, a depth issue, I should say, considering how much injuries we had and the problems we've been having with the team gelling together. I think losing a long-standing player in Harvey was tough for a lot of fans to swallow, considering it's like, that's our guy. He's practically a young, I wouldn't even say upstart, but he's definitely a younger, well-known guy that can carry the future of the club if they so chose to strap the rocket on him. And I would rather have him recalled back in January. Get him back. Get Mark Gahey. People are still saying sign Semenyo. This could potentially be a pretty solid January for us, but I won't know anything until I see it in the news. I've seen some reports, too, that Semenyo could potentially be having some, what's the word I'm looking for? And it's not a contract, but it's a verbal agreement of sorts between him and Liverpool. And how much I believe that, I don't really know. But all I can say is Villa and Emery are... There's a reason why they're so bad right now, okay? Where are they in the table? I'd like to see this. Okay, they're third. I can't say that they're bad. I'm sorry. I misspoke there. But clearly, they're successful without Harvey Elliott playing for them. So why bother having him on the team then? Bring him back to us. So if they can have all this success without him playing in the first place, might as well recall him back. That's my final thoughts on the subject. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. And despite all this rough news about Harvey and Villa, here's some happy news I can tell you today, because it is official that, I wish I have to say his name, but I have to anyway. The Liverpool Parade attacker, Paul Doyle, has officially been sentenced for 21 years in prison. Fantastic. I could not have asked for a better and absolutely stellar sentencing. Because fuck this guy, he should never have to see the light of day again. So let me just give you the details on that. Obviously, we all know what happened on May 26th. Probably one of the most horrific things you can see in the news at that period of time. A happy day turned to absolute panic and tragedy. Thank God, and I say this every day, thank God there was not a single death that day. God was looking out for somebody. If you believe in God or not, that's your prerogative. As someone that struggles with his own religious points of view, I like to think God was with us on that day, making sure that a day of celebration was not ruined by any unneeded death. And thankfully, it was all just, well, I shouldn't say thankfully, but we were lucky to know that it was all just injuries that were able to be treated. And apparently, he Doyle had pleaded guilty, and I remembered reporting this a few weeks ago. He had pleaded guilty to 31 offenses, including dangerous driving, affray, and multiple counts of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. 21 years and 6 months in prison. This article I have that I have some notes on kind of goes into like the two sides of Paul Doyle. I don't give a fuck about Paul Doyle. I give a fuck that he's going to rot in prison. All right? This guy doesn't deserve the fucking light of day to hear his story. Fuck him, and I'm glad he's going to rot for the next 21 years. If there's a baby being born right now today, Paul Doyle is going to be rotting in there until that baby is legal to drink in the United States. And I could not have asked for a better result. Honestly, that's a bigger result than us beating Brighton this past Saturday. Because this was justice. This was proper justice. So, to everyone involved in getting this scumbag off the streets and behind bars, I love you. You've done a great service to society. And I hope Paul Doyle suffers immensely while he is in those very dark, enclosed four walls. That's all I have for Liverpool Latest today, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Bit of a short episode to come back, but as always, I'm gonna get right back to it, get right back on the grind. I appreciate FanArch for being cool with me as I was not only on vacation, but having travel issues that prevented me from uploading sooner than I would have liked to personally. So I appreciate them for being cool. I appreciate you for continuing to support the channel. Subscribe, leave a like, and comment, and I will be here with you guys tomorrow. You'll never walk alone.